to Squadron Scale Workshop. My name is Brett Green. Last year, Tamiya caused quite a stir with their mid-year release of the 1/48 scale F-14A Tomcat. At the time, I talked about the fact that the release of a 48 scale Tamiya aircraft kit is a pretty rare event. It had been some years since we'd seen the previous release, and there was usually a year or more between the releases before that. Well, it's only about 6 months later, and Tamiya have now released another brand new tool 1/48 scale kit. It's a Kawasaki Ki-61 Hien D variant. The Ki-61-D was also sometimes referred to as the Ki-61-Ti, spelled T-E-I, and this was a more heavily armed variant than the previous three, with two Japanese designed 20mm guns in the nose and two 15mm guns in the wings. The revised nose armament meant that the fuselage was longer than the previous variants as well. Tamiya's kit is pretty much everything you would expect of a new tool Tamiya release. It's beautifully detailed, it's quite simple in terms of parts breakdown. There are very few gimmicks. There is one, though, that I'll talk about a little bit later on. And it comprises of 102 parts in grey plastic and 7 parts in clear. Let's take a more detailed look at the contents. The model is packed under typically attractive box art. 2 schemes are included: the fairly typical green mottle over bare metal, and if you don't feel like mottling, then there's also a bare metal with some attractive red stripes. The plastic is perfectly moulded in a grey colour and with a satin finish. The surface textures are restrained and very fine, mainly comprising recessed panel lines. The exhausts are moulded with the covers in place. The design of the lower mid-wing and the radiator ramp suggests other variants might be possible in the future. Here's the base of the cockpit tub. Tamiya provides 2 different parts under the canopy, one which will allow for an open canopy and one for closed. Detail of the machine guns is also included in the kit. There's nothing particularly revolutionary about the design of this kit, but everything is done so well. Moulding of the smaller parts is perfect. As usual, my big studio lights tend to overemphasize the surface detail, but you can get an idea of just how nice the detail is on these wings. The full span lower wing. Two drop tanks are offered as an option. Cockpit detail is well done straight from the box. If you want to depict your aircraft in flight or running up, there's a very nice pilot figure included. Check out the subtle rib tape texture on these elevators. Basic engine detail is included. These are the mounts that are installed on the inside of the forward fuselage. And here is the clear port fuselage half that will let you display some of that engine detail as well as the cockpit. Note that this is entirely optional, as there are also 2 grey fuselage halves included. Alternate parts are provided for open and closed canopies. The main decal sheet, with the unique markings for the two options. And the smaller sheet with stencils, instrument dials and a decal seat harness. Self-adhesive masking stickers are included too. So there we have it, Tamiya's 1/48 scale Ki-61-Id Hien. This is a gorgeous kit, well and truly worthy of inclusion in the line of Tamiya's latest 1/48 scale releases. It's going to be simple to build, it's well detailed, the surface detail is spectacular but restrained. There are inevitable comparisons that are going to be made to Hasegawa's 1/48 scale family of Ki-61s. That was a magnificent kit when it was released, but it's more than 20 years old, and the Tamiya kit certainly holds the edge in terms of surface textures, interior detail, and I would suggest, without giving too much away, fit. So even if you're not a Japanese fighter fan, you'll get some great enjoyment, I think, out of Tamiya's latest release, their Ki-61-D Hien. It's a gorgeous looking aeroplane as well, quite apart from anything else. There is something about that Daimler-Benz 601 engine that seems to encourage sleek, beautiful aircraft like this Hien, like the Messerschmitt Bf-109 and other Italian aircraft, including the Macchi 202. Anyway, we can only hope that Tamiya might turn their attention to something Italian or German next as well. Well, that's all we have for you from Squadron Scale Workshop tonight. From Brett Green, it's bye for now.